creating content that fights back against complaints for your business. So what do I mean by this? If you've ever been in a situation, or if you currently are, you run a company and you've had a bad experience with a customer. That's not to say as a business that you're bad, it's just you've had a bad experience. Most often it's through some form of miscommunication. For whatever reason, you've got a very disgruntled customer and they are taking it into their own mission to essentially destroy you and your company. Most frequently, this results in them going onto social media on various different platforms, creating content with an effort to destroy you, making you out to be evil, scammers, whatever it is. They're just trying to pass on a message to as many people as possible that they should avoid buying from you, should not have any trust in you, and should avoid any form of relationship or any connection with you or your business. What we're going to talk through is how you can create your own content in your business that will fight up against that. Meaning, when people see that kind of content going out from someone else, a disgruntled customer, you have something to reinforce, to back up, and to fight against them, to prove that you're not this bad character, you're not this bad business, this evil person that such a complaint is making you out to be. This is something I've had the experience with myself in my first company. Unfortunately, it was one of the biggest learning lessons for me. But within my first year of business, I experienced this with a customer. There was a lot of miscommunications, a lot of mistakes that I own up to and made on my own behalf in terms of just communicating clearly what we'd be doing. But there was a lot of deep emotions that were being vented through our interaction. And so I had an entire family take it upon themselves to go onto social media. It involved writing negative reviews on our Facebook page, as well as creating fake accounts to write further fake reviews, getting family members to write more fake reviews that we'd never done work for. So it meant we went from a 5-star business down to I think 2.1 stars. Very bad. Not only that, they went onto Facebook groups, started writing out all these messages and posts about avoiding my company, trying to tell everyone that we scam elderly people, that we're just out to steal money and we're just going to rob you, that sort of thing. Quite a devastating message. And of course, as the business owner, this was a huge emotional turmoil. If you've ever experienced it, you know the feeling yourself. It's the sickness you feel in your stomach, erupting every day, the stressfulness, the lack of ability to sleep. You even start to doubt yourself. Am I actually this scammer? Am I actually a terrible business? Am I a terrible person? You start to have those thoughts flood your mind and cause this doubt just because you're seeing such a vast amount of content going around and swirling of people sharing that message. So how can we fight against this? Let's go through an example. Something many businesses probably experience is a customer, through whatever reason they've purchased from you, they're unhappy, they want a refund. When you look at the policy, it goes against your policy to refund based on the situation. You as a company feel that you provided the service or the product. As the customer, they feel they didn't receive it. This is where the clash is. And what that customer's done is go on to socials to start spreading the message about how awful you are, how they're just out to rob people of their money and they have no care for customers. Not a great image. So let's work through this experience and see how content can be part of the solution. This is something that you ideally want to be proactive. If you're listening to this, you've never had the experience, now is the time to take action and make sure that you're protected against it. Whereas in this situation, we're going to look at it more as a reactive. The benefit of the reactive is you know what you're fighting against. You know the situation, you know the negative feedback you're getting. So what we need to flip around is that when people come across your business and they see this experience, is that the negative content is far outweighed by positive content. Now, if someone is going on to Facebook, if they've even created their own website against your business to share misinformation or share their own opinion on how negative you are, you need to have greater than that to fight back with. So you need to have a great website, you need to have great content going out on your socials. Not only that, if they are going onto the likes of Facebook pages to share into groups, you need to be doing that as well, posting your content onto these Facebook pages so that people start to familiarize themselves with your brand, your business, that name. So how does that work? It's essentially a case of weighing the positive against the negative. Our brains instinctively receive negative information more potently than we do positive. Let's focus on the story. The business owner, disgruntled customer, they're talking about how unhappy they are. So let's say that as the situation is going, the business owner does not want to offer a refund, does not want to give it in any way because they feel that they've provided the service. What that business owner needs to do now is to look at the business, and if they haven't got content going out, look at what's going out, where are they present, have they got, obviously it's relevant to where the complaints are going and where all that information has been shared, but first off, have they got a website? Is it a good quality website that's communicating the value that they offer and showcasing their expertise and their wisdom. If they haven't got that, it's a case of speaking to a web developer, speaking to a graphic designer, making sure all your logos and brand palette is up to date, having a website built as soon as you can so that that's something that people, when they hear these stories, see this content, they can go and research you themselves and they can see something better. Next from that, go and speak to your customers that are happy. Can you get them to review you on your... Quick tangent, if you haven't got a Google page, Google business page, get a Google business page. But the whole case there is, get your customers reviewing you on Google, giving you 5-star reviews. If they're happy and it's a positive experience, get them reviewing you to get those numbers up. And that's the same again on your Facebook page or any other platform. Trustpilot, if you've got a presence on any of these, is get those 5-star reviews in to try and weigh up. This is exactly what I did in my previous business. When I had that experience, it was a case of, right, I now need to just get on the phone, get emailing, messaging every single customer I've ever worked with and just see if I can get them to leave a 5-star review. A lot of them were happy to. It was just a case of giving them a little bit of a nudge and encouragement to do that and just really reinforcing how much it would help me out at this time. And then thirdly, what is it that you're sharing out on these platforms? If you've got a presence, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn and such, what are you putting out? Are you putting out great content that's educating your audience, entertaining them and informing them of your services? Is it giving pearls of wisdom and knowledge that you've got on your business and your industry that you can give to them? Sharing your opinions, the values. That's what you need to be doing. Really speaking to the people that you want to draw into your business. When it comes to the negative information being shared, obviously it matters anyone hearing that, but fundamentally it's the people that are going to buy from you, your ideal prospects. They're the people you want to see the positive content that are going to build that rapport and trust in you. They're the people that are going to buy from you and be great customers. They're the ones you need to look after. So speak to them people directly. So once you've done those 3 things, you've got your website, got the reviews going, got great content going out, try and get that in all forms of media: image, written, video, so that's making reels, it's making some form of digital images, carousels, that sort of thing. And then blog articles, really diving into deep so that you've got a vast sum of content. And what this is going to do is start to build that foundation of your authority in your industry so that when people start to experience and they may be going through the Facebook groups or on LinkedIn, that disgruntled customer is sharing negative content, trying to destroy your reputation. But at least what you're doing then is you're sharing 10 times as much. You've got 10 times as much content to back you up and show how great you are. Then you're leveling out the playing field and actually taking over and letting your business showcase its value above this disgruntled customer. And of course, if you can then start to share the positive feedback, you've got multiple opinions against one negative. I will stress though, this is going to be a lot of work. It's going to be something huge to get over. And it's not just a case of on the surface of getting over that. It's then the emotional, the mental challenge you've got to go through to get through that, and you're still going to have that disgruntled customer. Chances, in my experience back when I had it, you're not going to resolve the issue, and in my case it actually went to court. I won, the company won, but that is a case of what can happen. The overall message I want to get across here is like, try and take the positives. So there's a huge learning opportunity, and that was something I saw in it myself, going through that and having that experience with a disgruntled customer. There was a big opportunity there to see where you could improve, where the mistakes were. Really sit down and look at and try and be critical of yourself. Where did I go wrong? What was the mistake I made? And what can I fix for the future to make the business better, to make sure that we don't have a customer have this experience again? Yes, you'll have like bad experiences with customers and there will be bad customers, but how can you filter through those? How can you attract the right customers? Avoid the bad ones. Get an idea of how you can profile people to understand them a bit better. And that can all be done through content. As we said, like all this content you create, it can be something that draws in those right people, helps filter through who would be a great customer and who wouldn't, or less so that you've got these great prospects that you can nurture, look after, and they've got a good understanding of your business before they even start working with you. If you are going through something like this, feel free to reach out. We're happy to have a chat and just go through, and I'll just share my own experience of how I overcame it myself. It's never a nice thing to go through. As long as you are like a decent person, you are trying to do a great thing and you're building a business, something you love and you're passionate about, then chances are you're not a bad person. There are people that are gonna, and even bad people that are gonna be disgruntled against you. A lot of the time it's not this situation isolated that's got them hot and heated and angry. Often it's just many circumstances in their life have gone wrong, and just unfortunately you're the straw that broke the camel's back. You're the thing that they can let that energy vent from. I hope you can get over it. But as I said, get in touch and we're happy to have a chat. But in terms of Pink Panda, if a client comes in and they've got this issue at hand, it's then looking at the situation, looking at the story, what happened, what went wrong, what is it that they're disgruntled about, what are they unhappy about, and how can we take that negativity and turn it into a positive? For example, like in this situation with the business owner, they've got the argument over the refund. Well, What can we do in our content to inform people of the refund policy, to inform people of what the purchase is, to inform people of how that transaction happens, to educate them on that so that they're aware ahead of it, so that if there is any signs of disgruntled customers or dissatisfaction, we can point them back to these pieces of content that are all out in the open to be seen. But not only that, we're addressing that issue there, and if we can dive into more detail of what is the issue, was it something around a service or a product, and what is it in that service or project, like what is the specific around that they were unhappy about, and how again can we flip that to a positive and then create content that educates on that. Then when it comes to that sharing on socials and such, it's all these negatives. You've then got things to reinforce the positive with. And if there's anything else that they're trying to point out about the business and make it a negative, it could just be simple facts and they're just going, oh, they do business X, Y, Z, and they twist it into a negative. If you can take that information and keep it in that positive light, you've got that content to fight against it as such. We'd work through that, understand that problem, but then of course it's going into all the things that Pink Panda does anyway, understanding really who is the ideal client, what is that avatar, what can we understand about that person, what's their pains, frustrations, how can we speak to them as if we know them well, and what is the solution that you have for them, how do we speak to them on that, how do we take them through the journey and get them in the thinking that they go, you are the go-to, you are the pearl of wisdom I need in my life to solve that problem for me. We dive through all of that. How can we make evergreen and deciduous content? Content we can put out any month of the year, any week, and it's relevant. And then the content that's only relevant at certain times of the year, but it's more based around targeting the quieter times in your year. How do we make content that speaks to people at that time so that they want to buy still? Amongst varying other things. The key thing with Pink Panda is really diving into your business and understanding where you are, where you want to get to, and what the stepping stones are to get there, and how we can play a part in that, and how the content can be a key driver in making that happen. And it's all achievable. Even with this complaint, it's still achievable. It's just a case of you've gone down a bit and we need to get you back up, accelerating back towards that goal that you've got. It's all achievable, you can do it. If you are going for anything like that, you can get through it. I wish you all the best. Check out our socials, our website. There's plenty more helpful content, whether it's finding a dream client, finding your dream team, really attracting those great people to your business, and how you can do that through great content. But otherwise, if it's something that you want to speak to us directly about, get in touch today and we'll discuss your ideas and get you out of that situation, back into building a great business.